The following podcast is recorded and produced by Emerge, a media creators co-op, in affiliation with the network at bicbp-radio.com.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Virtuosos Podcast. I'm your host, Onika Burgers. And alongside of me, we got Damon and Damien, as always. Before we get into the potatoes and the meat, real quick, WNBA's season opener was this past week. We had Caitlin Clark, her first game, I want to say it was against the Connecticut Sun. Yep. The Sun were always viewed as like a pretty good defensive team. So it was always going to be a good matchup. And unironically enough, though, drew 2.1 million viewers, most in a WNBA game since 2001. So that's always obviously a good thing. We had the debut, obviously, as well of Angel Reese, Cameron Brink. None of them won their debuts. They all lost.
Sure didn't.
Which, as I was going to get to the point, people obviously live in a vacuum where they don't understand certain things because they don't have to go through those things. When Diana Taurasi and like Brittany Griner are telling her like it's gonna be an adjustment. These are grown women. That's how they pay for their, you know what I'm saying? That's how they support their family. That's their job. That's all they got. And people are saying, well, it's not that big of a deal. Like she dominated college, you know what I'm saying? But let's look on the other side of the spectrum here. Like before it was Caitlin Clark, there was Kelsey Plum. And Kelsey, like you would, like marketing wise, you would think Kelsey Plum is one of the best players on our team. She's not the best player on our team. She's not even close.
She's pretty far away.
She's like, I want to say she's about third or fourth best player on the team, which is there's nothing wrong with that, but that's the adjustment that comes from college to obviously professional basketball. It's not like Caitlin Clark is just going to be this mediocre player, the second, third option, but it's not like she doesn't have like crazy help. She's also playing with a former decorated college athlete in Aaliyah Boston herself,
and who was the first overall pick.
Yeah, exactly. Literally last year. So it's not easy to just insert whoever you think is like the greatest of all time and just have them compete. And that just goes for any sport in general. You put a phenom on the worst team, it turns from the worst team to maybe the third worst team. It's just, it takes a long time for that.
You got to build a roster. One player is not going to change the whole team.
It takes a long time, but I know a lot of people were mad about A'ja Wilson's comments because she mentioned how she'd been dominating in WNBA. She didn't have a shoe. Then Caitlin Clark got her shoe, and then she said it again, and then now A'ja Wilson got her shoe.
I wasn't a fan of it, by the way.
And I didn't like the shoe either, and I'm like, fuck. Like, of course, she gets a shit shoe after complaining about not getting a shoe, and it's like, I mean, obviously you want her to have, a good shoe. I mean,
I'm sure she had a say in it, so maybe that's like her preferred style.
Yeah, and and she's bigger compared to Sabrina and Caitlin.
Right. So I mean, which makes sense. So like I'm not gonna knock it in that, but I just didn't like the personal look of it. Like it's not something I would rock, obviously. Yeah. Like I know a lot of people consider like Sabrina's shoe to be like the best basketball. That's like considered like a top basketball shoe for even men's.
Yeah, men. So, I know a guy that actually has her shoes, and he says he loves them. But I seen something on Facebook where somebody said Caitlin Clark dominated college. Who is A'ja Wilson? And I was like, you literally live in a vacuum. Yeah. You literally live in a vacuum.
That doesn't surprise me, though, just because a lot of people probably didn't get into hoops until these last 2 years of college, women's college basketball. So now that they're seeing WNBA games, they're like, who is everybody on these courts?
They're like, who is A'ja Wilson? And this was before the opener. So I'm saying, like, well, if she's talking about WNBA, she's a back-to-back finals MVP, obviously a champion. She's a finals MVP. I said if you want to talk about college, this is also a national champion, the most outstanding player in the Final Four. Like her resume is longer than a phone screen. Like you can't. Seriously. She has gold medals on gold medals. Like she's
the
not,
best player in the WNBA.
She's not no random. I was like, she's literally the best player in the WNBA. So like living in a vacuum. It's just crazy because like now that she's talking about Caitlin Clark and like all press obviously is good press, but like it has people like looking at her like who is she? And now they see she dropped 30, 13, and 5 on opening night. Like she's probably gonna win MVP again.
I just think it's weird too though. Like for as cool as it is, the WNBA's got the exposure now because of this new class, and like I'm seeing like they're getting like the most views they've ever had for basketball games and all that. It also is always going to come with the weirdos.
Yeah.
And that was like a lot of the weird comments I saw where like people were like, oh, well, why are they beating up on Caitlin Clark like that? Where she's the reason they're getting these charter flights, and she's the reason that they're getting this exposure now. What are they supposed to do? Take it easy on her because of that?
Yeah, that's
like it's cool to it's cool to have a star come in and bring that exposure and bring in the fans, but like at the end of the day, it's still a sport. It's still competition. What they're supposed to do is let her get away with whatever she wants, let her shoot open shots and let her get open layups.
That's
She's a rookie in a grown woman's sport. They're gonna treat her like that,
and that's
regardless
how it should be in general. Like I said, you can't just put a phenom in there and then take it easy on her because she's a phenom.
Yeah, like
we don't want her to dominate us because that's my job on the line. If I don't do my job, I'm saying like the Sun were a great defensive team. This is going to be a struggle for her. She shot 5 for 15, I think it was. Yeah, she had 10 turnovers.
10 turnovers.
Like it is what it is. Like it's one.
But
game.
I also think people also overreacted to that. They're like, oh, well, she's a bum because she had 10 turnovers. Like it's also once again her first game at the professional level.
Like she can't just
go and do what she was doing in college. And,
she can't dribble 30 feet out and whip a pass to the paint. That's not.
Like I said, it's not college basketball no more. But like I said, you got to keep that same energy with players that come from regular college men's basketball and go to the NBA and do that.
I was like, Victor had a shitty ass summer league.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like Victor, they were saying that Victor couldn't even play big because he couldn't back down Brandon Miller for one play.
Yeah, like it's all adjustment.
Like, it's literally like
you gotta let guys do shit, man. It's like you gotta let shit develop. You can't just automatically be like, nah, there's no way.
But the arenas were filled for a decent amount, I would say. I was even like the Chicago game had Miss Mulatto there.
Nah,
like,
man.
Come on, son. Like that just shows like how far we've come. You know what I'm saying? Like the NBA playoffs is on. I think the Knicks played that night. And
they was playing at the same time.
And she was at the Chicago
Kim
Sky
Kardashian
game,
and them were at the LA Sparks game last
night. I'm saying like, and
they
drew a good number too.
Yeah, and Cameron Brink was like, she gave jerseys and shoes to like whatever Kim's kids were with her.
Yeah,
I saw the post this morning.
I was illegally watching the Caitlin Clark.
You was legally watching it.
Yeah, legally. I was legally watching the Caitlin Clark.
I thought you said illegally.
We're trying to get our ABC.
I don't know if it's because Caitlin Clark was playing bad, but I'm watching it. But I'm hearing it though. Like I'm doing whatever, and then all I hear is Neymar with the rebound. I'm like, what the fuck? I go check. Caitlin Clark had 2 points at half. I'm like, yeah, they turned it off. Like like they don't care about it no more. I guess like
that's it.
Yeah, we don't want to watch her no more, bro.
Like.
It obviously is unfortunate when people like, you know, say you live in a vacuum, you think, all right, well, she had a bad debut, maybe it is gonna take a long time for her to adjust. It's like it goes for anybody. Like odds are.
They weren't talking about Angel Reese shooting 5 for 14.
That's what I'm saying, and it's like, but like that's what you're gonna have to expect out of her.
Yeah.
She's a very awkward player.
I'm not gonna lie, it was funny as hell last night, bro. It's not funny, but this dude on Twitter, there's NBA Central's Twitter account, but this dude's NBA Central.
Yeah.
Yo.
This is Angel Reese fast break dunk.
Yo. She took the
slowest layup ever.
Yo. She ran down the court full speed, bro. As soon as she hit the paint, slowest lay ever.
Slowest lay ever. I thought she smoked it. I'm like, nah.
That's insane.
I was like, yo,
and I'm a fan of Angel Reese too.
So as I said, bro, she's a very good player.
She's a very awkward looking player. Like she's not visually appealing.
It was so funny, man.
She's not gonna pop off the page or like have crazy highlights. But now that that's all wrapped up, we had some pretty good news this last week. Coming off, obviously, you know, a huge month stretch for hip hop. Obviously, we were tuned in for like the Kendrick and Drake stuff. That was like the only thing that was hype going around the world. And then now we got a lot of Disney news. Damien, I know you sent in most of the, I guess, announcements more or less. I know we even talked about like Yellow Jackets even, but
yeah, there's been a lot of big release announcements. To start with the Disney ones. Agatha, what is the name of the show?
Agatha's House of Harkness, I think.
Yeah. You remember her?
I do remember Agatha because that was one of my favorite characters.
I wonder how many people remember her.
I think that's.
I thought it was supposed to come out in 2020. Yeah, I thought it was supposed to come out in 2022, then 2023, and then 2024.
It kept getting pushed.
Yeah, so that got announced. That's coming out. I think they said September of this year.
Yeah.
Which is gonna be the first Marvel show to come out since what? She-Hulk?
Yeah, I think so.
And then one just
or What If doesn't really count. So
Oh wait, is
Secret
it?
Invasion
It might
drop
be
after?
called something else now.
Maybe Secret
I've
Invasion
seen.
did.
I can't find.
I saw there was something that was like the Lying Witch and her wardrobe or something like that.
That was that. They said that's a play on Deadpool, like fucking with.
Oh, okay, the stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, that's pretty cool if they keep doing that for like, because
So-
they deleted it.
Oh, Agatha All Along is what they're called.
That's what they call it?
Yep,
Okay.
September 18th. That's coming out. We got an announcement for Daredevil. That's coming out March 2025. 9 episodes. Daredevil Born Again. That's exciting. That's probably going to be the most anticipated one, I would imagine. Ironheart also releasing next year. So that's the 2 shows they're going to be doing, I would imagine, next year. If they're going to stick with
If
their
they stick to what
formula,
they say.
then they're doing 3 and 2. That means that next year we'll get Ironheart, Daredevil for shows, and we'll be getting Captain America, Thunderbolts, and Fantastic Four
Yeah.
for the movies. Which I mean, that's a pretty good slate for Marvel to come back to, if they decide to stick with that. I know we talked about some other stuff. Mortal Kombat 2 is getting a release for the movie. That comes out October 24th of 2025.
Squid Game.
Season 2. They're making a Tomb Raider show at Amazon, which I put faith in anything Amazon's making right now. I'm a big Tomb Raider fan. I played all the games, so I have faith in that. Probably my favorite announcement, I don't even think I typed it in the group chat, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow is getting released in 2026.
I don't think you didn't.
Yeah, that's featuring Millie Alcock. She played the younger Rhaenyra in House of the Dragon, which is a show that it's a spinoff from Game of Thrones. I'm super excited for that. I was very happy with her casting. That's going to come out basically a year after Superman drops. So we're getting those back to back, which is pretty cool through the DCU, if they could build on that. There's a bunch of announcements this whole week, which has been really cool. Even I don't even know if this was from Moranto. Dune Prophecy is coming out on Max. That takes place 10,000 years before Paul Atreides' birth.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that's gonna be like a prequel to like the Bene Gesserit and all that.
You talked about Daredevil already.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Nicolas Cage cast as Spider-Man Noir in the live-action Spider-Man Noir. I don't know if it's gonna be a movie. I'm thinking it's a series. That's what most of the things are saying.
It sounds like a series.
It'll be interesting to see how they're gonna do that.
I'm pretty sure they said it was like a limited series, probably like a 6-episode thing.
I'd be cool with that. I think that's fun. Obviously, he voiced him. He had some very iconic lines in that first one. Hopefully, he shows up in the third Spider-Verse film.
Oh, I love the cameo that he had at the end. So I'm hoping that he does have obviously his one-liners that.
In the wind.
Yeah.
The wind smells like rain. And Yellow Jacket season 3, as we said, that's was one of me and Jules' favorite shows last year. I'm super excited for that. And that's really it. I want to say, like, there was some other announcements, but nothing like crazy. Lord of the Rings season 2 got announced. I heard the first season was kind of from Lord of the Rings fans. The Boys already got renewed for season 5.
Yeah, I think we touched on that last week.
Which is obviously a good thing. It's a good thing until it isn't, I guess.
Yeah. until we, you got to see everything first, obviously. But
I believe, I think that's it. I think as far as like the big movie announcements, that was like the main ones.
And the casting for Galactus, I think we talked about in the group chat.
Yeah, I forget the guy's name.
Like Ralph
Einstein, yeah. And I don't know if you've seen any videos of him like talking, but I don't even think they'll have to give him a voice changer for his Galactus voice. His voice is deep, man. He's got a supervillain voice, which is really cool.
Did y'all see that Chris Pratt said that Super Mario Bros. 2 is gonna create a Nintendo cinematic universe?
I'm not surprised. The money
I
that
figured
Super
that
Mario's
it
brought in.
would. It should be interesting how they go about it, though. Trying to keep obviously characters that we grew up loving, or at least obviously playing as these characters for so long. Like if we can keep it as interesting as Mario, because Mario is like a visually appealing, fun. You got a lot of places to go with it.
I think that's really what it is.
It's
Like, you could
hard
really
to-
do anything with that. And there's such an array of characters you
Yeah,
could do. I mean,
as
obviously,
long as you do it as best as you can to like for the core audience of that.
and they
game,
literally
I guess.
tease like one of the biggest characters. I mean, like, 'cause you even see what Shadow's doing. I mean, not Shadow, Sonic, I should say. Like Sonic is doing just the same for that universe over there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like the first
I
Sonic
didn't
movie was
expect
kind of
that
like,
to.
but I mean now, like like the second one came out, and you got Idris Elba as Knuckles, and now the third one's coming out, and Shadow's being played by Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, those animated movies are really making big splashes right now, and if they could do that for Super Mario, which was like one of the highest grossing films of last year, behind Barbie and Oppenheimer, I mean, you might as well continue with it.
Yeah.
They teased Yoshi at the end, obviously, which was a big thing. The last thing I wanted to talk about was Furiosa, which is another Mad Max movie. I hadn't seen Fury Road, so I'm not going to speak on it. I know it's considered like a great movie by George Miller. This movie got a 7-minute standing ovation at the Cannes Festival, and the main character only has 30 lines of dialogue.
Damn.
So Anya Taylor-Joy is one of my favorite actresses. I'd say it every single
Well,
time.
that's a
we talk
very
about
Mad
her.
Max thing to do.
Yeah.
Because again, like Mel Gibson doesn't talk much in those movies.
Well, that's what George Miller said. He said the dialogue slows down the movie too much, so he was like, I'm not going to make anybody talk. And I guess like when Tom Hardy played played whoever in his movie for Mad Max, he only had like 60 lines of dialogue. Right. So these characters don't talk very much in those. But that movie, it got a 7-minute standing ovation. It's opened up to insane ratings. So maybe I'll watch the other one and then watch this one. Like, I'm a big Anya Taylor-Joy fan, as I said. So if the movie's as good as it's getting for its reviews, it'll probably be something I'd check out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously when we have like all these like castings and stuff, it's hard to keep up with like every single one and like these movie announcements because like obviously you're gonna miss a few.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
And like try to touch on like all the main ones, but we also got the announcement. I don't know how fresh that is, obviously, but we talked about the Apes getting like a saga, like a
they're getting a 9-movie saga. Yep.
Like 2, 3 years ago, maybe like 7 years ago. Like they talked about Avatar getting like four or 5 more movies. Like, and it's crazy to think that like
because what are they at right now? 2?
Yeah, they're at 2 now.
Yeah, I think that James Cameron said he has a plan for like 7.
Yeah, it's like
6.
What the fuck? Like we are extending like these universes crazy, but
I mean, obviously he didn't plan to do a sequel right away.
Right.
But even the one that's come out now, like they keep getting delayed. Like, and they're too.
That's what I'm saying.
The Planet of the Apes ones that can work, but they just have. It's got to come. They got to come out every 2 years. Like,
Yeah, you can't make sagas.
yeah, you can't make a
trilogies
9-movie
and
saga stretch over 30 years.
Yeah, especially like even like James Cameron, like he's not young. Like,
Yeah, exactly. It's not. Yeah.
He's like Clint Eastwood still making Avatar.
I know that they said that a lot of these Avatar movies are filming like back to back. Though, like they were already filming Avatar 3 when Avatar 2 released. So
That, but then like why isn't it out yet? Then like that.
No, right. When did Avatar 2 come out? Was that
They
2022?
say that all the time. Oh,
Yeah.
we're filming at the same time. But but then, and in his case too, and in his defense, and I'm not an Avatar fan, but like he is like Lucas in the sense that he's trying to come up with innovative ways of creating the movie. Like he's trying to change the film industry through the process. Like I think he cares more about how the movie's made than the actual product.
Right.
And he's trying to change the way things are done. So. But like Planet of the Apes, they're not creating new AI or something. They're just
Yeah, they're doing the same. If it's not broke, don't fix it. They're gonna film it the same way they did the original trilogies because they were so good.
Don't make me wait.
But for you, Damon, what anything you like? I guess most excited about for like I guess like because it was a lot this past week or week and a half even. So something you I guess most excited about.
I would probably say the Tomb Raider one. Because it's Amazon, I can trust Amazon. You know what I'm saying? And I'll probably just say that's really. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like Marvel is not like popping out for me like that no more. Especially
You
with
tap
what's
your
going on.
expectations.
Yeah, so it's kind of like whatever. Act was supposed to come out 10 years ago. You know what I mean? It's giving me Black Widow vibes. You know what I'm saying? But it's cool that I guess they limiting that like how many they're gonna drop. In terms of shows, movies,
I feel like we can't really judge Marvel until next year.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
see
say
how that
nothing.
goes.
I'm not gonna say nothing. You know, obviously they got Deadpool and Wolverine this year. But
That's
I'm
crazy.
not gonna
That's the
really.
only thing we're getting this year.
That's what I'm saying. I ain't gonna really talk about them too much until next year in terms of expectations for them. Last of Us pictures is cool. You know,
Yeah, I was gonna talk about that next.
Yeah, I did see a couple of those.
Yeah,
I can't wait for season 2. I just want to see how they, obviously, we know what's gonna happen, but I just want to see how they execute it. Knowing that Pedro Pascal is as big of an actor, and we know after what happened in the game, how are they gonna execute that in terms of, are they gonna wait till the end of the season? Are they wait till season 3 to kill him off? Like, so those are probably the 2 I'm excited for.
Yeah, I definitely say it. I mean, I know I already said that Supergirl is probably my most anticipated movie of the most recent announcement. I also probably would have said House of the Dragon if we're talking about TV show wise. I'm a big Game of Thrones guy. That comes out next month, so I'll be looking forward to that. But Last of Us obviously is one of my favorite gaming franchises ever. I got tattoos of it, so if that's not proof enough. And
No, it's not.
no, I know.
Like, why ain't you in the show?
I don't think so.
And it's just like the same thing that happens every single time, and like that's why I hate that the leak culture is such a big thing right now.
It sucks, dude.
It is like
It sucks.
I like I've played the games enough to know what's going to happen. I know what it's going to look like and this and that. But at the same time, it's like I don't want to see leaks. If I'm being honest with you, like I'd like to see a surprise. I'd like to see when a trailer drops to see it for the first time or something like that. You know, and what comes with the leaks is just also just people doing the same thing they do every single time there's a leak. Oh well, this looks like shit. This looks dumb. This looks stupid. They did the same thing for the first season of The Last of Us, and then they all flipped over and said, "Oh, this is the greatest show ever, best video game adaptation. I can't believe how good it is." Like you just like I don't like the flip flopping. When you like obviously you can't judge from a leak. There's no effects to it. There's no lighting to it. You're seeing a blurry picture.
And the most I've ever seen was like hate towards how.
It's all about Bella Ramsey. It's all Bella Ramsey's hate.
It was just
that's
Bella
the only
Ramsey.
people that's the
all
only
I've
character
seen.
that hates every single time. Well, that was like the big thing. Now they're like, oh well, she doesn't look any older, but it's like it's whatever, man. Like what are you gonna do about it? They're not gonna recast her.
You're gonna wait 3 years
yeah,
so she looks old enough,
right? Like
no,
they're not gonna recast her, bro. Like if she won awards for the first season and was as good as she was in the first season, you're not gonna just be like, oh yeah, sorry, you don't look old enough for the role now.
Right.
Like that's just dumb.
And she's a great actress. So it's like,
and you don't even know the time jump. Like you don't even know if it's like a crazy.
All they said is that Ellie's gonna be 19 in the second season.
Okay.
So
that's what 3, 4.
I think 3 years, 4 years, which is like, but it's whatever. Like I mean, if she looks, like I said, there's makeup and stuff. If they want, I'm sure. Like I said, that's why I said you can't judge leak photos and be like, oh, she looks nothing like Ellie does in the second game. She looks too young still. She looks like a baby still. Like you don't know what the effects and stuff are gonna look like.
Comparing a video game
character to a real person. As I
I
say, it's mental illness, man. Like it genuinely is. It's genuine mental illness where like you see the leaks on TikTok and all that, and it's all negative comments. Like, oh, they should have recast her. This is dumb. This is stupid. But you guys are all gonna be there on the first night of that episode watching it. Because you can't help yourself.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm Demond at 15, but I'm Kevin Durant when I turn 19. Type
yeah,
shit.
like come on, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like what can I do?
Yeah, but I'm super excited for the Last of Us season 2, man. Like I do think like I mean me and Demond talked about it a little bit. I won't like expand on it really too much now. Maybe we could do it on an episode down the line.
Isn't she 22? How old is Bella Ramsey?
She's up there. I think she has to be like early 20s.
She
just looks young.
She was born in 2003. So
oh yeah, she's 21.
So here's the thing: if a person in the real world can be born in 2003 and be 22 or whatever she would be, right? And look 15, then guess what? Someone in the video game world could be that way, right?
Yeah,
like
whatever.
But you know what
it is.
You guys talk about stuff all the time, and you guys are fans of things. Like you never come in here, and that's why I like your pod, because you don't come in here like, oh, like you never come in like angry about something. If you watch something and it wasn't good, you call it out. Yeah. But it's never like, oh, I can't. Well,
it's just hate. Like, it's not just pure
hatred. You never do that, and so, but there are just those people that like. They're still mad about something.
Yeah, it's baseless.
They just get off on it.
Things you cannot obviously switch around. Like, all right, I can't. Like, how mad am I really about her not looking 19 years old? Like, what do you think every 19-year-old looks like? I can guarantee they look younger
actress,
compared to.
I just want an actress that does the job well.
That's all I want. Like, just be good at what you do.
And that's my thing. Like when they first casted Bella Ramsey, I was like, I knew she was a good actress from Game of Thrones. I had already had that experience with her. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, did she look exactly like Ellie? No. But there were times where I was like, okay, I could see her. She acted just like her. She had the mannerisms down. Like,
yeah, you were the only person I remember that had something positive to say.
Like I was like, I just would rather. I don't need you to look one-to-one.
If she's true to the character, then who cares?
That's all.
And I didn't play the game, but everybody that I know that likes the game said she was good for that. Like she played it well, and she's like, and she's not too young. It's not like like some of those weird ones where like sometimes the actress is too young, and then they have to revamp like.
The story a little bit.
They revamped the story, otherwise it's creepy, and they can't do that.
Yeah.
And
the thing is too is like The Last of Us Part 2 is like literally probably one of the like most depressing, sad. Like that game has no happiness in it. Like
I think I've seen a clip recently actually, and I was like, is this The Last of Us 2? Because it was like basically something like women will never understand this, and it was like
Last of Us 1 has those moments where like there's like the you cheese and like you're happy and like you're smiling for as bad as like the situation is. Last of Us Part 2 has none of that. Like I mean it is like it is probably the most depressing 20+ hours of video gaming you could possibly play. That's why like I think it's funny, like I'll watch YouTubers and like they'll play it for the first time and they'll be like, I'll never touch that game again.
Yes,
like it is like depressing. It is like sad from start to finish. You were just in a dark hole the whole time, so like I would rather, like if they're gonna do that with these seasons, like I would rather the actor be able to portray those emotions, and portray how effective this show is at, exposing that. Then I don't care about you being 1-to-1, because if that's the case, then Pedro Pascal is not 1-to-1 to Joel either.
And I was just about to say that, and I remember people getting mad that like he wasn't the best cast for Reed Richards. Is like, can y'all please like stop? Can we stop doing
With
this?
the 1-to-1,
Like,
I
can
don't
we stop
care.
doing this? Like he's not much of a like. I know a guy. I'm not gonna say his name, Damon. You know what I'm talking about. I say it like he says that this person's not that much of an asshole to play this person.
Yeah.
And it's like you don't know them
know him.
in a personal space to say that.
You don't
And
know
also,
him.
this is their job. So
Yeah.
like, if they're told to play an asshole, they can play an
That's what
asshole.
I'm saying. Like, I think they forget that they're actors. Like, just because Pedro Pascal is a nice guy in real life does not mean he can't act.
You can add a score, a really slow pitch score to somebody like behind somebody's voice and make them sound evil.
Yeah, that's what
You
I'm
can
saying.
you can
There's
brighten up
effects.
the room and make them be a happy ass
And it's
person.
not like it's Conor McGregor. Like he can only play one. Like
He ain't gonna be fucking Conor
He's
McGregor.
only playing the part he played. He's never gonna play anything different than he played in Roadhouse, right? Like
Exactly.
Right,
that's
right.
him. Like he's not an actor. Like I guess suppose. But I mean, like we stereotype actors like the guy. What's his face who plays Drax? Like
Dave Bautista.
Yeah.
So he's going to be slightly typecast, but he's trying to become an actor, so he can play slightly different types of roles and
right.
not just the big dude. But like Pedro Pascal can play, like he's already played a bunch of different kinds of
he's
things.
played
Exactly. He's
everything.
not
He's a
some one-dimensional
Right.
actor who can only do this one thing, like be a
Yeah,
crazy
'cause, like,
good guy.
You don't watch Last of Us and then think about him in Narcos.
No, sure.
That's
Don't.
what I'm
You-
saying.
You don't watch
You
The Last
don't
of Us
even-
and think of him in Game
you
of
don't
Thrones
even
either.
think
Right.
about that.
Like he's a really really good actor.
Which
and,
is so
like,
funny too. Like when people bring up Pedro Pascal, is that he had such a minute role in Game of Thrones. He was there for like 4 episodes, and he's the biggest actor to come out of that show.
Crazy.
Like
Crazy
for
thing.
all the people that starred in
Yeah,
it, like
probably.
like I would say like pretty like Amelia Clark never blew up the way people thought she was going to. Same thing with like the dude that played Jon Snow. Like of all the actors in there, like none of them really went on to anything.
Yeah.
But it's kind of the same thing like when you think about a lot of shows. Like sometimes the show is just is enough for an actor.
You never.
And
You
you
say
never
you
get a role
really
that good
never
to-
know who's gonna emerge.
Because
Like,
Bryan
you can
Cranston has
always-
never done anything as good as Breaking Bad,
and he
to this
never
day,
will.
and he probably
And
never will.
it's
But just
tough
think,
to
but
get a role. That
Bryan Cranston's probably the best example of what you just said because what did we know him before
Malcolm in the Middle.
Malcolm? Well,
If
he's-
that
he's
because
just a comedic
because when
actor.
you see him
Like,
when
well,
you see him in
how
Breaking
about-
Bad, you don't
how
think
about
about
he's
Malcolm
an
in the Middle.
actor, right?
Yeah.
Like, and then he was like, "Oh, he's the greatest actor of all time." All of a sudden, but now they're like, "Oh, but he can't play anything but like he's got to play a Walter White character." But like,
That's what they
remember
did
when
to
you were-
Giancarlo
Remember
Esposito.
you were clowning on him? It
Yeah,
was
because
Malcolm
he's
in
like,
the
hey,
Middle.
he's the dad from Malcolm in the Middle.
How
It's
about
like
he's just
I
a
didn't
really
even
good
know it.
Actor.
Like,
Well,
shut up.
Giancarlo Esposito probably got the worst of it from Breaking Bad. Giancarlo Esposito has been a bad guy since Breaking Bad forever. I have not seen him in a good role
Yeah.
ever once. This dude was like a comedic actor with Spike Lee and clowning around in a lot of
That's
his
why we
early
always joke
roles.
that he's just like Space Gus. When he
Yeah.
was on Mandalorian, we just called him Space Gus.
Like I said, like he's literally Gustavo Fring in every role. He was in Far Cry. He was the bad guy. He was just dictator Gus Fring. And then it was Space Gus in the Mandalorian. Like those typecasting things are hilarious.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it is hard, like you said, to emerge from a certain type of role. Obviously,
The only one I
'cause-
want to typecast is Anthony Starr. Play a bad guy every single time.
Yeah, like but certain guys are like you. If you excel in that and you get roles for that, just keep taking them.
Yeah.
But if you want to branch off, I'm not gonna judge you because I obviously don't know you. I don't like you said. I can't say that you're not a sympathetic character because I don't know you.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure
think
you.
that's a
I'm
bad-
gonna have to just trust that you're good at your job and you're gonna get the job
Saying
done.
Pedro Pascal is not enough an asshole to play Reed Richards is crazy.
It just doesn't make any fucking
Like,
sense.
well, you don't even have a base. You don't even
Don't
set
know
base
him.
list.
We
That's
don't
set
know
base
him. It comes down to that, and it's his fucking job to do that. If I was paid $100 million to act like an asshole for the next 2 years, so people believe that I'm an asshole, then I'm gonna be a fucking asshole.
Yes,
It's just that
that's
simple.
what it comes down
It's
to.
like, it's just like you do what you're paid to do. But for the most part, we like I said, we got a lot of really good news. Obviously, it's a lot to watch all of that.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I think you kind of just at that point you just pick and choose.
yeah, we gotta just we gotta nitpick a little bit. But you sent it to me personally. Obviously, the Yellow Jackets is coming out. Season 3 started production. Man,
I can't wait.
oh my!
I can't wait.
If there's a show that like I just cannot wait to like really get here, is that because like I remember binging the fuck out of that shit. And obviously, like we don't know what, like I don't want to spoil anything for people that haven't watched it, but we did literally a whole like 2-hour episode on that shit.
Yeah, we did.
Like,
and that was like when we
just-
first started
we
that.
just
Like we really just been at
ranted
it
about
2
it.
hours about every single thing possible.
Yeah,
And I almost kind of would like to
missed
do
it.
that again, like closer to its release, maybe. It's like
Yeah.
kind of like look back on it. Because I know that first episode was sloppy, man, because we was all over the place. We was trying to give a summary. Then
We was trying to talk about it, but it was just like certain things like you just forget about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because like you try to talk about one character, like, oh, but this character does
then
this
it
to
did
that
this.
character, which
Yeah.
you know,
it's hard. It's hard to keep all that
This
in
is
track.
what
when it's
6,
not-
7 main characters.
That's what I'm
going
saying.
in different-
Over 2 seasons.
Yeah,
like,
it's
come
like
on,
it's
man.
impossible. But it's a lot to be excited about. It's something for everybody. I feel like there's nothing I feel like that got announced this last week and a half.
Even anime. Like I even saw like they're making an anime for Terminator. I don't know what's coming out on.
It's come out.
That's
didn't see
insane
that,
though. Like
man.
I've never been a big fan of the Terminator franchise, but maybe it's like an anime kind of like thing. That sounds kind of cool to me. Like I mean, if they do it right.
Yeah.
Like, this week was really good. Like I said, this is like a week where everybody, as you said, could be excited about something. There was something you could pick out of that lineup that we talked about, and I'm sure we missed stuff. Like like you said, and where you could be like, "Damn, I'm excited for this. This is something that we could look forward to."
Yeah, it was a star-studded week. Speaking of stars, Damon, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Biggest. I don't even know if I can't even sit next to dude.
Like dude, a humble beast. He came in here, you know what I'm saying? Just
Didn't
he
even
chilling-
mention
he
it.
chilling
I started
out.
off the show with it. Like,
You know what I'm saying?
I'd have played it live.
Dude went viral again.
Yeah,
It's
for like the 8th time.
This year at that rate. We ain't got to talk too much about it. You know what I'm saying? He put his charity into the kids and whatnot. So, you know what I'm saying? We ain't going to get too much to it because he humble and all
Just
that.
know he very good at throwing up gang signs.
Dude was annoyed. I'm like, all right. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I never seen you do that. But yeah.
I don't know what to say to her.
Like,
Oh, that's my automated response.
that was
Like, yo, something out there.
that was your voice quip. That's all I got.
You say he emoted.
That's all
Oh,
literally
God.
I got. That shit was funny as hell though.
Bro, I was crying when I saw that shit.
Dude,
bro.
because when I watched it, I'm like, damn, that shit funny as hell. And then I woke up and I was like, damn, that shit got everywhere real fast. That's usually how I was.
That
I
shit, and it's
said,
crazy.
though.
That shit is from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And
Where's that?
Malachi
Denny's?
just sent it to me. Yeah, Malachi sent it to me last week.
I
I'm
knew.
like,
You know, the thing is, when I looked at it, I was like, yo, he does not look like this. Like, what the, I was like, bro, the man do not look
I'm
like
like,
this.
damn, like I don't like. I had to like ask him like, yo, what happened? Like, why did I do that? Like, I had to get a whole rundown. What the fuck happened? That shit was from 2 years ago.
And it's like it's just certain arts of like obviously going viral. Like you do that. Malachi laughing, the video cuts out. Like it's just no context.
It felt like
so
a
it just
vine.
felt like
And
it felt
it
like
felt
yeah,
like a
like
vine.
And what make
bro.
it crazy, the only reason I like went so hard to post that, I posted it and it had like 40K, but I got a strike, and they said, "Yo, next strike, your channel gonna delete." I'm like, "Fuck that!" So I peeled it. It took like a week for it to get cleared. Woke up, that shit had like 2 million views when I woke up. I'm like,
And the
shit,
thing is with stuff like that,
Yeah,
bro, is like
fuck
once you hit that algorithm, man, and people start commenting, that's a wrap. That shit
hit
is
the right people
everywhere, man.
every time. But we attempted to watch the Apes trilogy.
We're making it a trilogy now.
Obviously, it's a five and a half hours like dedicated to it. Like if you
Shit,
cut out
almost
like
6 really, because the first one's an hour 45. The
I'm about
second
to say,
Yeah, so if you cut out, like,
the
credits
last
and
two
shit-
is like 2 hours and 30 minutes.
yeah, so, I mean, yeah, when you cut out the credits,
yeah, I
yeah,
think the
it's
second
damn
one
near
wasn't
like
even that long. I think the second one was like a little over 2 hours.
the second one's 2:10, the last one's 2.5, and the first one's an hour 45.
Yeah. So like there's a lot of time dedicated to just like one thing, obviously. Trying to do all that, trying to have like a fresh brain about it. Damon, I'll start with you. First movie was The Rise of the
Rise of
Planet
the
of the
Apes.
Apes. I got James Franco in there. The actress, the girl, I forgot her name.
Yeah,
She isn't, but she was the girl that was in Slumdog Millionaire.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, that's
I was,
pretty
as
cool.
soon as I
That's
seen
a
her, I was
cool
like, that's the girl
connection
from Slumdog Millionaire. But there was a couple other people. I can't even.
Man, listen, I
who
say
was the
something.
dad? Who was the dad?
That's John Lithgow.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Obviously,
I know
you
who-
have Brian Cox, who plays a bad character in every single role he plays. He's the owner of the
Typecasted.
Sanctuary. There was also Tom Felton, who, if you're a Harry Potter fan, you know him. He was a Potter. He hates apes. It's a really cool thing. My favorite of the casting, before Damon gets into his little like thoughts on it, is I said it to Jules the other day how these movies look so good for when they were made.
Yeah,
These movies are made in 2011, 2014, 2017. They look better than movies that are made today.
yeah.
Right
Every time I'm watching, I'm just like, this
Well,
is
I mean, like the
amazing.
effects hold up. There is nothing. I mean, the way that they shot and filmed these, and I love watching the behind the scenes stuff. I literally was on YouTube watching behind the scenes stuff the last couple of days because like these were mocap actors. This is not all CGI. These dudes are on. They're using the bars, so they walk like apes. They're training. Like, they literally brought in a guy that like walks like them so they could train for it. Andy Serkis, who is a great actor, he's done a lot of mocap work. He plays Caesar, and man, when you put I love how they made Caesar look like him. When you put their faces side by side, I mean, that is Andy Serkis.
You can tell who it is.
Yeah, like pretty
the moment
easily.
it starts.
Yeah,
and you can tell. You could pick him out of a crowd.
as soon as he reaches like the old enough age, you're like, wow, that is Andy Serkis, and it is so damn cool to me, like how they made that work without it looking weird. Like it looked natural.
Yeah, I thought. I mean, obviously, like when you get movies like that, it's gonna be weird. Yeah, it just like you just gotta get over it after a few hours. But for you, Damon, about this first movie, what's some of the moments that stuck out to you the most?
So the first, I think it was when I guess technically it's Caesar's mom or dad breaks out and he gets shot on the table.
Bright eyes.
First of all, the worst fucking doctors ever. Like the strategy to keep that ape in that fucking cage. Worst shit ever.
I'm gonna add on to this.
That shit was horrible, bro.
That's the thing that makes me the most mad about in the entire movie. That's like the one gripe I have with the entire movie is that scene, because they're like, oh, she's being shy. No, she's not. You guys work with animals every day. You tell me that you don't see that she's being protective of something?
That's what I'm
you don't
saying.
have eyeballs.
Like, come on now.
She never attacked.
Like she never acted like that ever. I was like, and then you think all of a sudden one day she just doesn't want to come out of her cage, but she's clearly going under the table and looking at something and hovering over something. Use your eyeballs.
Like, come on, son.
Like what are you talking about? Like that's like the one gripe I have with the entire movie is that scene right there, because it's so obvious she's just being protective over something, and they're thinking that she's just being aggressive out of nowhere.
And then the way to bait her out, like the way they did that shit was fucking
That was just
horrible.
so dumb. They
Like,
said
yo,
put it
you
on
wanted
her,
to die.
put it
Like,
on her neck, by the way.
you wanted to die.
Yeah.
Like, no, like,
I'm
you're not
saying?
putting that collar on her neck, bro. Like, you should have found a way to do it easier. You should have just tranked her at that rate.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Tranked her and wait
would
for
have
her to wake
done,
up.
Nick, you would think, but
Like, come on.
I wasn't too fond of that.
That's literally like my biggest problem. I remember when I was watching, I was like, dude, that is like the dumbest thing ever. And like, I had forgotten it even happened because it's been a few years. I was like, how do you not notice the baby underneath the table? Like, I make sense that they wouldn't know she's pregnant. I don't obviously know how chimps work. I'm not some expert. They said that they carry small, so they don't look pregnant. But it's like, you're telling me you didn't notice the baby though. Like, you didn't notice her
even
being
when she was
protective.
getting up, like moving
Right,
out,
like,
like you ain't. Oh,
You didn't look under
like,
the table and be like, oh damn, look, it's a baby ape under there.
Like, come on,
Like, come
no,
on, man, that's so
like,
dumb.
Like that shit just pissed me off. The movie, in my opinion, like the pacing was kind of Like I like the last 30-40 minutes was fucking amazing though. Like the start of it was kind of
It's a lot of exposition.
It moves very fast.
But I'll say that's what I do like.
It moves
is that
very fast,
it
so
moves
it's not a
real
hard
fast.
watch.
It's not a hard watch.
If you if you want to nitpick, like you can kind of really
I would say I definitely think it's the worst out of the three though.
That's what everybody says.
without question.
That's what everybody says because it's. But you know what
Watching
it also
the
is.
second one is like night and day.
But like it's also crazy because like I forget who the first person was that directed, but the guy that directed the second and third one is also Matt Reeves.
Exactly.
I mean, when you have somebody like
the director is Rupert Wyatt.
Okay, so I know he's made some decent movies, but like you can't compare him to Matt Reeves, who has made Cloverfield, who's made The Batman, who made like I mean he's got some insane titles under his belt. Matt Reeves knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I fucked with the movie. I had to rewatch it. Like when I knew he was doing this, I had to rewatch it just to like refresh my memory. Overall, like I fuck with the message they gave out. You know, with Caesar, like he realized. I think like that turning point for him was looking at that dog. Like
that's my favorite scene in the
like
movie.
am I a pet for real? Like. He didn't want to get in the car. He like, bro, Uber me. Like, I'm really not fucking with you right now.
I'm not getting
like,
in the trunk. I'm a passenger.
Like, put me in a passenger. And it's crazy because I was thinking about this. It's a game called Detroit Become Human. Like,
I've played it.
And
I watched. I think Burleezy play it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you play a game or watch a game like that, and you're playing as the robots. And as a game, you playing a game, you're rooting for these characters, right? But as a human, if I was a human in all this, fuck no, I don't want my robot standing up to me, beating my ass, pulling out guns and shit.
Yeah.
If I'm a
it
human,
can flicks you. I
that's
love
what I'm
it.
saying. As a human, I don't want talking apes going around the fucking neighborhood.
I
and
don't
doing
want
shit
y'all to
like,
be
you know what I'm saying?
on that time. I
But,
really don't
like,
want y'all to be.
That's
on
what I
that
mean.
time.
But like watching it as a movie watcher, like watching like, yeah, let's go Caesar, like lock the fuck in. But no, like we don't want to see that. Like as a human, I don't need that.
You
at
don't
all.
ever
Like,
want to have to see that.
like, come on now, bro. Like that shit is crazy, man. But yeah, man.
What I like is that they have created a universe or whatever you want to call it, and none of these movies like spent a lot of money.
No, yeah, that's what I'm
they're
saying.
like, I think the biggest budget of all of this one, including the 3 previous ones, was like 160 million.
Yeah, and
Like they're not overspending on these things, knowing what their market is. That the movies made like for almost 500 million, I think, most of them.
Yeah, they
So
have
like
a
know
really, very
your
good fan base.
place and make something within a budget, so that, and don't let too much studio interference. It seems like they just know how to make these movies. They get them out quickly. They're well done. They got good actors. Just do them the right way. Like and I think we said before, like, this is exciting to have like a new intellectual property that's kind of being handled well, and it's not going to get. Hopefully, it doesn't get screwed up quickly.
Yeah, but from before you go, Damien, from what I heard, like the newer one starts off slow, but I'm fine with that because this first one's like the first one of this trilogy started off slow, and it everything that's in it comes back. Yeah, and I'll talk about that when it's obviously my turn. But for you, Damien, things you enjoyed about this movie the most. Obviously, we said it's the worst of the 3, but that doesn't mean it's a bad movie.
No, yeah, and that's what I wanted to clarify before you start. Like, just because we say it's the worst of 3, it is not a bad movie. It is still a solid 8 out of 10 in my opinion, or maybe even higher if you really want to go into it. I like the human conflict of it. I think a lot of people kind of overlook that because of how obviously the apes are such an important part. But I mean, like, James Franco, even though he's the Oppenheimer of the Apes universe, he literally destroys the world. He is doing it out of a good reason. I mean, I do kind of like the foreshadowing really early on where, Jacobs, the boss from Genesis, is like, hey, listen, don't let your personal feelings get involved in your work. And James Franco does that anyways.
Immediately after.
He wants to rush the human trials, and and he takes Caesar home and he gives his dad the ALZ-112, and it's like, awesome, this is great, cool. Your dad's back to health, and then quickly you see how quickly it dissolves, obviously over the 5 years as Caesar gets older, and it's just like it's just crazy. Like I said, I think I don't really care for the love thing or anything like that because they don't really go into it. Yeah, like there's really like nothing to it. Like
I think it added absolutely nothing.
Yeah, like but
I never felt the connection either.
But I do really love, like I said, I like the relationship between James Franco and his dad. I like how Caesar feels about them. And like this is also plays into the rest of the trilogy where especially in the second one, like we'll get into that when we talk about that one, but like this movie heavily influences Caesar's view on life because he's raised strictly by humans. He wasn't raised by apes. He wasn't raised around apes. So he has a special feeling for humans no matter what happens. And like I said, as Damon said, I think my favorite scene in the movie is when Caesar sees the dog and he's like, wait a minute, I'm not a pet. At this point, Caesar's 8 years old. I don't know how long chimps live to be. Or their lifespan or anything like that, but at this point, I would imagine he's a teenager. You know what I'm saying? He's like, nah, like I'm done. Like this is not cool. And you kind of get that whole expedition where he finally realizes, like, my mom is dead. I don't know who my dad is realistically. Like, I've only been raised by humans, and it kind of just escalates into that. And obviously, that's right when you see him attack the neighbor and all that. It's just like a really exciting movie. Like, I mean, obviously, as Damon said, the last 40 minutes, I like seeing the interaction with the apes.
They killed it last.
Yeah, like I mean, the interaction with the apes when he first gets to the sanctuary, and like how like he basically punks Rocket, and which is the kind of like Balder looking ape, and and he sets Buck free from the gorilla cage, and Maurice, who is, even though he didn't have the thing yet, was still relatively smart compared to the rest of them. He's like, hey, listen, apes are still dumb.
Yeah, he's an ape.
Like,
stupid.
Yeah, because he was like, apes together, apes alone weak, apes together strong, and like that's like the big thing for like the whole movie, their whole saying. But like, unless you give them what Caesar had, they are all dumb. Yeah. Like at the end of the day, they only have such limited intelligence. I think the Golden Gate Bridge scene is dumb. I really do. I think it is one of the dumbest scenes in the movie. They sent police out on horses with batons to fight monkeys.
And I was about to say,
but they're also on a bridge.
They kill it in terms of like, what I'm saying,
the visuals, cool, but the thought process,
the plot of it sucks so bad, and I'm just like I get it, but it's like, all right, where we going? Like
you said, like you literally see SWAT teams and all this on the bridge. They're hiding behind the trucks, and then they send in the horse guys with the batons. And then you're also on a bridge. What can monkeys do exceptionally well that humans can't? Climb.
Yeah.
Why you guys didn't look up? You didn't look below you. You didn't like set up like you were looking right on the bridge. Like
my thing, if you was planning on killing him, start with the fucking helicopter like that you used. Like
all that helicopter really did nothing until like at the end, and then by that point it was too late. And why are you flying that close to the bridge knowing monkeys can jump?
Like, come on now.
Why are you that close? You have a long range weapon.
I guess he thought he ain't wanted enough. Like let me stand right here. He don't want it that bad.
Like, you don't want it. Like you don't have that grit.
Come on,
You're
now.
not Caesar, bro.
But they also do establish like you care about all the apes relatively quickly. Like they all have very good personalities. Like even like when you first meet Koba, like and even before Koba gets the ALZ 113, which leads to the end of the world, and like even like then like he's still out relatively smart compared to most chimps at that point. He's like reaching his hand out asking for the cookie, and he knows to knock the mask off. Like, and that's like the thing too, where it's like. It kind of shows you, obviously it's not a realistic, I mean, well, I don't know, I don't work in a damn lab, but how quickly something like this could hit you. Like, Will Rodman, James Franco, warns them. He said, listen, we don't know what this is going to do to humans. You cannot keep testing this. Yeah. And sure enough, like, I mean, like, this virus really wipes out the human race. Yeah. Like, relatively quickly, which is also just kind of, like, annoying, though, because they also told James Franco, stop using your emotions to make things and to try to fix this. And he goes out there and makes literally the worst virus ever known to human man.
Yep. And that's why the three things I'll highlight. The first thing is, like you said, the human conflict. You, at the same time, as good as Will seemed, he still was testing on apes. Yep. So he is no good guy in this, but obviously because he cared and see the sympathetic side for the apes, obviously you feel that, and obviously that bond that him and Caesar had, I should say, goes a long way. Yep. And you see, like, obviously the pictures in the second movie. You don't want to talk too much about it, but you see the picture and whatnot, and it brings Caesar back a little bit. And it starts with Caesar, loving humans. I'm saying he was a caged animal in the same sense. He never went outside. Yep. He was stuck in the house, and I think that was obviously what led to when him seeing a dog. I've said like he never seen no other animal. He never seen nobody else like him.
From an animal from a window.
So it's like this thing on a leash is barking at me, trying to mark his territory, and I'm gonna growl back, but I got a collar on.
Just like him.
I got a fit on. Right. You know what I'm saying? They're taking care of me like I'm a pet. So now he looking at himself a little bit different, which I thought was like their connection. Obviously, it's complicated. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm your father, but I'm not. So I raised you, but I shouldn't have had to raise you because they killed your mother, which was in my plant where I worked at, which is partially my fault during something that shouldn't have happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a whole bunch of conflict there. Second, like you said, they're testing on the humans, and humans are as like you said, like apes have limited knowledge. So do humans. They're stupid. They're stubborn. Dude don't got his mask on. Forgot his name. Didn't have his mask on.
Franklin. You talking about Franklin? That's why I put it in the chat. Like, yo.
He gets it knocked off because they don't strap Koba down all the way, so he's only strapped down by his chest and his arms are free. So as soon as they start pumping the thing, he throws his arm up and it knocks the tube out and knocks his mask off.
But he never put it back on. He just sat there.
But Will also told him to secure your mask. Yeah. And he didn't.
Yeah.
So
like he wanted to die. Like he's like, my mask off. Let me.
So
and then breathing that shit in, like.
Like I'm immune to it now. Like, but obviously it hits him, and then I was like, that's obviously what happens with the end of the world. And he goes and knocks on the door. He's like, doctor, I need your help. And obviously they don't get too much to like the wiping out part of the first movie because.
Well, did you guys watch the credits after?
I didn't. So
the credits. It's not really a spoiler, but the credits show you. So they give you the context clue that the neighbor's a pilot. He works for an airline.
Oh, okay.
So when he gets sneezed on, that's how the world ends.
Okay.
So like the movie credits show you where it starts off in. He takes off from San Fran, flies across the ocean to some European country, and then it starts to show you the spread of how.
Because I was in the beginning of the movie, they show like the red.
Yeah. So in the second one, so that's basically just showing you. So at the end of the first one, in the credits, it's yellow.
Oh, okay.
But then like the second one is showing you the red now to show you that basically like this is killing people.
This is the death.
Well, they even tell you in the second one like the flu is a 1 in 500 survival chance.
Yeah.
So one person in every 500.
I forgot what this flu is called. Like
the simian flu.
Okay.
Which simian I think is like another word for like ape. It's like a type of it's like a apes like thing. So, but like before you finish on your thoughts for the first movie, this flu kills 7 billion people. Like by the time the second movie starts, there's 14 million humans left. So this is like the deadliest virus in human history. In 10 years, it kills 7 billion people.
Yeah. And the third thing was you mentioned it. Caesar, he punks Rocket. I think you said his name. Rocket, obviously, the first interaction that they have, he's pressing him. And he throws the gas canister at him or whatever.
He's the alpha at that point.
Yeah, saying like
rips his shirt off.
But Caesar, being smarter, raised by humans, he has interaction with was it Felton's character?
Yep, Tom Felton.
And he grabs him by the shirt because he sees the knife in his pocket.
Oh no, it's the friend that he brings.
Was it the friend?
Yeah,
the friend was drunk, so he
opener.
brings him over. He just stares at him. He has like the craziest look in his eyes, like I could literally, I could
kill you right now.
I could kill you right now, but I'm not. And so he takes the knife out, ties it to the stick, he locks himself, and he starts trying to get a feel of the place. He doesn't just release them right there.
Right.
But he's trying to get a feel for it, create that bond, and so.
And I like that the first thing he goes to the biggest gorilla, and he goes to the biggest ape, and then he goes and gets the gorilla.
Yep, and I thought that was very cool because obviously their bond is good for it lasted throughout the movie, obviously at that point, but. He finds Rocket finally when they freeze everybody. He has a gas canister in hand. And he looks at me and just drops it. Like we're better together than we are separate, and that's literally the theme of the entire trilogy. Is like we need to work together to keep what we have. Caesar obviously sees that because he's raised by humans. He knows that the whole point is that he is who he is because of humans, and he sees like what they can do together. Imagine what we could do together because we're stronger. You know what I'm saying? We can climb stuff.
They're more advantageous.
Where we can use our hands. We're literally as good as humans can be. We just have to stick together. And I thought, obviously, like those three things, like a callback, and it also was a cool callback. Like Felton's character has like the wand, the electric wand. And he's like, "Oh, look what I can do now!" And he's like shocking him.
And all that.
And then obviously he dies because of it. And I thought that was pretty cool too. I was like, he deserved to die the exact way. And I think that's the first human that dies to an ape. To an ape, I should say.
Yeah, and I think I would have went crazy if I was my age right now in the theater when Caesar says no for the first time. Dude. I'm not gonna lie, I might have tweaked.
I texted you, I was like, I did the echo like, no.
Yo, I might have tweaked the first time that I heard that Caesar, man. Caesar, he says no to him, man. I was like, wow, bro. I can imagine the theater experience for seeing that. Because that would have been crazy. Because I don't feel like the whole time you wouldn't even expect. They don't even give you a hint that he was gonna ever speak. Like, because he's just signing.
Nah, text you, he's like, they start teeing up talking.
Bro, I was like, that shit was so hard.
Conversations.
And I love the scene where they're coming up on the trolley and it's like the main four. It's Caesar, Maurice, Rocket, and Buck. Obviously, Buck does die in the movie. He dies sacrificing himself to save Caesar. But like that's like cool as hell to see. Like that's the main group though. Like, you know, even though Rocket was an enemy at first, he very quickly comes to Caesar's side and realizes that he needs to be on Caesar's side. That's like Caesar's right-hand man. Maurice obviously is a lot of people's favorite ape in the entire trilogy.
Maurice, man.
Almost everybody loves Maurice. There's really no reason to dislike Maurice.
Maurice is that guy.
Yeah.
But no, that first movie, and like I said, I think the ending is just really cool. You know, it's like Caesar is home. Like, you know, I don't want to go back to being with the humans, and
I think that was
a cool
the best
ending.
Part when
you know,
he realized that's where he needed to be.
And like, and then like I said, I love like so like the post credit scene, like where you see the guy, he goes to the airport, the pilot, and he starts bleeding from his nose, and then you see like all the flights getting ready to take off, and like I said, he's the catalyst for the end of the world. Like, you know, maybe if the doctor had just infected somebody else local, it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
But this guy being a pilot set off a whole chain reaction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything mattered.
I was gonna say that. So you're in the middle of the second one.
Yeah.
So you know that Will's not in the second one, right?
Well, yeah, I know he's gone. It's a decent.
It's a 10-year time.
It's a decent time jump, and he has obviously like the memorabilia of Will, like certain things that he got.
I figured that Will would have died from the flu pretty early on because he was working in the lab and because he was exposed to his
neighbor.
Yeah, so his neighbor was exposed, and then he also was like when that dude sneezed the blood for the first time, he was right next to Will. Like I would imagine Will was probably pretty close. He probably died pretty early on.
Yeah. I said I wish they obviously gave us a little bit like of that, but at the same time, I'll be honest, I didn't love James Franco in that role.
James Franco plays James Franco in every role.
I was like, I just didn't love. I was like, like I haven't really seen many good James Franco roles.
There's a reason James Franco is no longer.
He's just a handsome guy. That's all it is.
That's, I mean, hey, listen, you got to get it how you live.
I looked it up. They said he was supposed to die by police. He's like the police are gonna shoot Caesar. He sacrificed himself.
There was supposed to be there was a post credit.
I thought that was going to happen.
Well, there's a deleted scene where that sets up Koba being the villain of the second movie, and there's a deleted scene from the first movie where there's the guy that runs the sanctuary. The one with the glasses that I was talking about,
forgot his name.
I just said the actor's name, but you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Brian Cox's character.
Yes.
The leader of the sanctuary. So he goes into the woods with a shotgun following the apes. And he goes to shoot Caesar and shoots Willow. And that's and then they kill him. And then Koba finds the shotgun. And that's where you kind of see where Koba's okay, no, I'm gonna be the bad guy in the next movie.
I can't wait to talk about the second movie.
I'm loving the second movie.
The second movie's the best
one. It sucks. I only have 25 minutes left.
But you gotta finish it because we can't even talk about the full thing of it.
That's what I'm saying. And I know that how the war for the Planet of the Apes ends. I do know. Obviously,
that's something we could probably finish up next week. Then we could talk about both next week. In depth, but
not say I don't want to touch too much on the second one, but
I'm just gonna say one thing.
You can tell that Koba is going to be a villain.
No, it's so obvious from the whole time. It's so obvious, man. The thing is a lot of these apes have had bad experience with humans, but Koba's clearly had it the worst. Mm-hmm. He's clearly been tortured, and he even says it in the. You're far enough in the movie, so you would have seen it where it's the first time he confronts Caesar about the humans.
Oh my god, dude! Before you even can talk about it. The scenes in this movie, separated into 3 minute, you could make a living off just posting those shits yearly, bro. I'm telling you, that opening, when you sent me the opening of Caesar with the war paint on, I'm like, dude, it's he don't
no characters ever had
aura
that much aura
of SGA, bro, aura, is that he up there,
bro,
it's Caesar, Roman Reigns, SGA,
it's
a ladder.
Caesar in the war paint is crazy, but even the first scene you see with Koba in this where he literally talks about humans did this, and he points to all the scars and wounds on his body, and it's all from humans. Mm-hmm. And that's why Koba is the bad. But it's so obvious from the first movie that Koba was going to be a bad guy. I mean, he just came off as the bad guy. He had the guy. He looked different. He had the bad guy look. That's what I'm saying. He just had the bad guy look. It's just what it was.
I can't wait.
I can't even.
That's the only thing I'm gonna say about the second movie, man. Is that opening scene? No character in movie history has ever had that much aura.
The cinematography in that movie is just you can tell it's directed by somebody else.
Yeah.
The first one has decent to good moments, but dude, I was an hour in. I'm just
the second movie is from start to finish. It's got its foot on the gas.
I'm like, dude, what?
And the third one is one's exactly the same way. The third one is not slow.
Yeah.
And like I said, I won't talk too much about this one, but I think they take a lot of the same good things we talked about in that first one and just upped it in the second one, just with less humans.
You know as you want the humans to have their back against the wall based off what we seen in the first one. It was not the humans are outnumbering the apes, now the apes are starting to outnumber the humans. Mm-hmm. And obviously, you got the war that's going to happen, obviously. But man, I mean, like I said, the cinematography of these two that I've seen so far, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense how good it is.
And these movies didn't win awards for anything visual.
Yeah,
these movies won
no
visual effects awards.
It's a 40 years in the making reboot kind of thing. So
it's just annoying to me. It's there's no way you could watch these people animate these apes with the mocap and with the stuff and be like, damn, there's no way they don't deserve an award for as good as they look.
Yeah, it's just I be cheesing sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I'll be sitting there damn.
That second movie is literally. I mean, when I was watching that, I watched it last night and I was like, wow, bro. I was like, this movie from start to finish is just.
That's crazy. I'm like, this is actually insane.
Dawn is crazy.
Yeah, I like Dawn a lot. I'll watch. I'm like, dude, this shit is
When you finish it, you definitely gotta text in the group chat, man.
Fuck, bro.
Are Koba and Caesar fighting yet?
Koba and Caesar are about to fight. Caesar was just talking to his son.
His son came in.
I texted you last night the thing because that's how the fight starts. He's like Caesar weak, Koba weaker.
And I was like, and I remember I was like, damn, it's about to get crazy. Because the thing, I don't want to talk about the second.
No, yeah, let's.
It's they just do so many things.
So we'll be able to go into because I can tell you right now I don't think I can talk about every scene in the second movie.
No, I feel like I can.
I don't even think I got to talk about my favorite scenes. I might just talk about the whole movie next week.
Holy shit, it's so good. I hate to even think about it because like I'm like I can't stop cheesing about it. Like that shit is just great. But I did mention I do want to watch the other ones like from the 70s.
I have watched the originals, the 68 one with Charleston Heston.
Things that I've heard, obviously they say that it actually starts with the 2011 film. And then
Well, that's what I said. Well, that's what I was talking about the other day. Where I think that's what this saga is doing is they're just telling it in reverse. So obviously the original one starts with the human astronauts landing on the planet, and they're like, "Oh, it's run by apes," and then at the end they find out it's Earth.
And it's so funny how they look like in like the suits and shit.
Yeah, they're all. Well, and I think that's what it's gonna eventually turn into is like. Because this new trilogy is only taking place 300 years in the future, I would imagine the last trilogy, because they're making a saga, is going to be like how the apes look in the original one, where they're like in a society now. It's not just wood and stuff. They've learned how to build buildings, and they've learned how to make clothes, and you know, I mean, even like as like in the third movie, there is apes wearing clothes in this third movie in the trilogy of that we're watching right now. There is an ape that wears clothes.
Caesar ain't had that shit on though in the first movie.
Yeah, we're not talking about that though. He was getting forced to wear that.
He had that fit though.
That was the widest neck I ever seen on the shirt in my life. Man.
Dead ass though. Like
kept
I would have
the
snatched
clothes,
that shit. I would have
He
snatched
kept
that
the
shit too.
clothes.
Like get that shit off.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, if I was Rocky, I'd definitely have snatched it off, bro. They dressing you like a 4-year-old.
Yeah, but I mean, really, really good.
You know how much crazy? You know how crazy I'd be to put jeans on a chip.
What's the word I'm looking for? Origin. Really good origin.
And that's what I was gonna say too. Is like I just am a sucker for an origin movie, man. I don't know
A good
what it
origin
is.
that it sets the whole precedent. Like
Yeah,
this is
like-
literally what we got, and I'm like I can't be mad.
That's
Like,
why I don't
the
even get
pacing
mad.
sucks to start, but it picks
I
up
love
really well.
prequel stuff. I love early stuff. If I can get as close to a reasoning for how a story starts, I'll watch it anytime. I don't give a damn.
Yeah. Because those certain things I was thinking, I'm like, that's a pretty good thing they did right there. I was like, oh, they calling back. Everything makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got
And that's what I like about these movies too, is that like
conflict and
there's
whatnot.
nothing's forgotten.
nothing is ever forgotten.
Like when you if something pops up, like I think like one of like a thing that gets me hype is you probably would have seen it already too because you're at that point in the movie, but like Caesar's window from the first movie becomes a symbol for the monkey revolution.
Yes, dude.
Like, I love
I
that.
didn't want to say it, but I'm like, dude, that's
Like when,
they're on the bus.
Yes,
And
yes.
see, I'm like, dude, this is fucking great.
yeah, like and like
why?
Blue Eyes comes over and he draws a symbol on the damn thing. I'm like, bro, that's so lit to me, man.
Shit, that shit had me hooting. I was in there hooting. I'm like, damn.
And that is
bro,
also really
shit,
cool
I'm
that,
talking
like-
Baku in here.
That's something I'm talking about next week too, man. Blue Eyes has a very cool character arc.
Yeah, I love all the apes. I ain't gonna lie. Like, it's very easy, like I said, to sympathize with.
They also like don't even mention her really in the first one, but Caesar really went hard for Cornelia in that first movie, man. He literally breaks into Genesis to free her, so it was pretty obvious he was gonna end up with her.
Yeah.
Because as soon as he sees that she got taken, he was like, "Yeah, we got to go ride for her, man."
Yeah, and obviously I know, like I said, I know how it ends in War.
Yeah.
Yo, speaking of-
it's based off of.
Speaking of apes,
All right,
Gable Stevenson met with the Bills.
What?
who did?
Gable Stevenson, he met with the Bills.
No. Speaking of apes,
Yeah, that's what I don't.
Let's go,
I'm gonna pretend I
man.
don't know
We gonna split one with the Bills.
speaking of apes,
We gonna split one with the
this
Bills, man.
black male just met with the Bills.
I'm glad I didn't say it.
Are we talking about the black male being an ape or a bill being an ape or like a buffalo?
Hey
like, what
man,
are we
take it however
talking
you
about?
want. I know Gable Stevenson chasing my running back. We going for 100 yards in the first half. So
Yeah, we're good if he's
we
out
good. You know
there.
what I mean, we good.
But I don't know. Did we have anything else we need to talk about? I mean, Damon, I guess you can touch on it.
College football drop.
We could do the
cover drop.
NCAA and we could do the NFL schedule.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, perfect. All right, so NCAA, I think you mentioned July 19th.
13th.
Or was it
13th.
Okay.
I think.
Both the covers stink.
I can't believe- I'm mad that's true.
The
deluxe, I'm like, that
premium
shit looks
cover
too
was
size.
like whatever. I guess it showed some more names. The second, the regular original price game cover is stinky.
That shit is ass.
That shit is
We
stinky.
could make that right now.
Ewers,
like-
Hunter, and
Who is it? Travis Hunter,
and,
Quinn Ewers,
Donovan Edwards.
That's Donovan Edwards. Yeah, that shit's ass.
Yeah, I can't. I'm so mad at that fucking.
Like,
ended up
if
being
you
true,
compare like the old NCAA covers to that there's
But
no.
EA has
that
been
might
doing
be the
that
worst I've
lately.
ever seen.
EA's been doing that lately. Like they did it with UFC 4, Madden 20, Madden 22.
That shit
Like
stinks.
they got motherfuckers doing album covers instead of like doing some cool shit. Like,
Bring back when they had Richard Sherman doing some crazy moves after
Yeah,
intercepting the
like,
ball.
why-
Odell Beckham catching it. Like, bring
why
him.
is Richard Sherman doing a stiff arm? Like, but it's cool though. Like,
Yeah,
fuck
like-
it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm seeing some outrage from the NCAA. They're saying that Ultimate Team shouldn't be on there. which I kind of agree. I guess for $150 you get the deluxe version of both NCAA and Madden. So I guess that's cool.
Oh, like the new Madden?
Yeah.
That's actually pretty cool then. 2 for 1.
2 for 1, that's cool.
I mean, I'm not buying Madden this
hopefully
year.
they transfer over in like a player.
Well, I was gonna say maybe they could do how they did it back in the day, where if you create like it's like the career mode.
Yeah, and then you have to download.
You could download him into
when they
Madden.
do like Madden 8, 9. 10,
Yeah, like that'd be sick. I mean, if they're gonna do it like that, then that'd be pretty cool.
Then the Chargers dropped one of the greatest scheduled releases ever.
Yeah,
you know
man,
what I
that shit, dude.
That shit was fire.
Tennessee's last year was the best, but Chargers had it this year. They had Harrison Butker. They did it with the Sims.
They did it with the Sims.
They made their schedule release.
They had Cheeseaholic and Harrison Buckner on the Chiefs one. I'm like, yo.
They had Harrison Butker. So you heard about the Harrison Butker like whole thing right now, where like he basically said like
men need to be men again.
Yeah, and women are only happy when they start families.
Yeah.
So they had that motherfucker in the kitchen.
In the kitchen cooking, cleaning. They had Cheeseaholic in court. I'm like, yo, nah, niggas going crazy.
The Cheeseaholic thing was crazy. You see, he's getting a documentary.
Yes, he's getting a documentary.
Serial bank robber, man.
Like, yo, what else they did? They did some other crazy ones too.
The Dolphins one was so weak.
They had the Steelers one in there.
We just had memes.
The Dolphins one was so
They
weak.
had George Pickens standing in front of the TV. Russell Wilson coming there smiling. Justin Fields coming there sad as fuck. They all looking at each other like. That shit was.
They had Tyreek killing Raheem Mostert looking at the computer screen. Tyreek's like, yo, it's done. It was the quickest. It was like fastest team in the league with the fastest release schedule. That shit scrolled so fast. I had to pause it like 4 times to see who he was playing.
I know they said there's 9 total playoff rematches.
Yep.
I know week 1 is
Ravens, Chiefs, and then I think it's one more, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it Lions? It's not Lions and Rams. No, Lions and Rams a little bit later in the year. I think that's like week 9 or some shit like that. I think, but I know there's 2.
It's Bills and Dolphins didn't play in the playoffs, did they?
No.
It was Chiefs and okay.
Damn, where was it at? I can't fucking think.
Rams and Lions.
Is it Rams and Lions?
Yeah,
week 1?
Rams and Lions was week 1.
Is that Sunday Night Football?
I believe so.
Okay, then yeah. I know they were on a Sunday Night Football. I just didn't know if that was week 1 or not. But they did rank that as like a top 3 game this year. Obviously, Jared Goff got a huge contract extension. Tua can't get one till week 9 until he proves they could throw for 5,000 yards, I guess.
Yeah, shout out John Tench.
If you ask the wrong people.
And then we got Chiefs and Niners week 7, Super Bowl rematch.
We got Texans versus Cowboys, CJ versus Micah.
Diggs versus Diggs.
Diggs versus,
that's
a crazy game.
That Monday Night Football game week 1 is pretty cool too. Jets San Fran.
Yeah.
Leonard Floyd has a chance to do something insanely funny.
Nah.
Leonard Floyd has to do. Yeah, he does.
Like I'm not saying to do it, but I'm saying that if he wanted to make everybody laugh.
Yeah, that would be insane. And it's crazy that's how that works out. And I would be pissed if I was there, right? It's like, what are y'all trying to do to me? They ranked the best game, obviously, the Hard Bowl. Everybody knew that was going to happen. I don't see it as being as hype.
Yeah, I don't think the team
probably about 25 the 7 or something like that. I don't really think
the Chargers are even close to the Ravens right now. So if they're in that rebuild mode where they're just like, let's just feel it out this year. I doubt either one will give an inch to their brother. It's his brother. It'll still be a fun matchup. I just don't think it'll be that good.
Bro, I thought the
team in week 15, 16, I think it is.
We played week 16.
16. Sunday Night Football. Tua don't win cold game, so
his first win in the cold is gonna be that one.
Now it's gonna be 1 week before that, and then he gonna cool down again. Get it? Wink, cool down.
We actually have 2 Monday Night Football games this year. We play the Titans the September 30th, which the last time we played them, that was the worst night of my life. And then we play the Rams November 11th, which is.
Bro, I thought the teams that played in London got a bye week the following week.
Oh, no, you could choose. No, you could pick or choose. So
was it before or after?
You could either have like the earliest bye week if you play in London, or you could have your bye week like the week after.
We played the Jaguars. The Jaguars damn near at home. That's a home game for them.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers love them out there. And then I think we got 1 primetime game against the
Jets. It's got to be Sunday Night Football because it's not Monday night.
I know we got the return of Sean Payton to New Orleans. That's a Thursday Night Football game in October 27th.
And the Dolphins got the first Thursday Night Football game, which is interesting.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, I guess if you don't count week 1.
Yeah, we can't count ring.
Yeah, so week 2 we play the Bills in Miami.
Should be interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Obviously, like the 425 games are usually always better.
Yeah.
We got Brady's
Fox
broadcasting debut.
Is that you guys? Dallas,
Browns
and
and-
Cleveland.
Cowboys and Browns. Browns are hosting them, so should be a pretty hype game.
Let's go, Deshaun.
Yeah, I mean that's the only game he'll be healthy for. So shit, let's go.
You're
Schedule
a
release is always fun. I mean, as minute as it is, we don't have shit going on. We don't know anything about the rookies right now. They got rookie camp. Everybody's slandering everybody. Yeah, it's just,
I don't think you could even judge anything until like training camp starts.
Yeah, training camp starts.
like I know y'all seen
Preseason game
the
or
throw
two.
by Penix, so the dude dropped it. They was like, who the fuck is 18?
Yeah,
His last name was like Blair or some
Yo.
shit.
It's just that he's so scared of Desmond Ritter throwing the ball. You know?
It was like, boop, boop. Like, it was like, boop, boop, doo, 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 boo.
My favorite thing is him trying to wipe off his gloves after. Like, Brad is hot as hell out there. You do not need to wipe them gloves, bro.
Oh shit! Like, bro, them Kirk Cousins fucking interviews is insane. He basically like, bro, I don't know why the fuck did I come here? And, like, they was gonna draft the quarterback. Like, I didn't know. Like,
He's trying very hard to play it off, but it's so obvious that he
Yeah,
did not.
like,
Especially when it came out that he basically said like he didn't want to go to the Vikings because they said they were going to draft a successor.
I think that's what
Yeah,
makes it
like-
the worst. Is that he said that he left.
Then
basically.
the interviewer made it hot. He was like, "So you would have went there if they known that?" He was like, "Man, I don't like think about that. But I'm just here to play. You know, I mean, he cool and all, I guess, but you know, I'm the starter. I
He
think.
damn near my age.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Sucks. It sucks that we had to do that to Kirk because I was very hyped for him to go to Atlanta. It sucks that he has to pretend he's okay but you are 35 years old.
You paid.
You pay at the very worst, man. You're gonna end up with $100 million.
On
At
the
the
bench.
very worst.
That's what I'm saying.
That's such a small, minute problem. I'm sorry you can't play till you're 40 if you can't.
And you in a division, bro. In a year or two, you might be on the fucking Saints. Getting on the same contract.
That's what I'm
Playing
saying.
against
Like
them.
them niggas might just swap your ass in the division.
That's what I mean.
Like wherever
Like,
where you want to go.
Like, come on now. So,
Like as long as you play the ability, then you don't have to worry about it. But if you're hurt, you gotta expect the worst. It's just that simple. Another game we got, Caleb Williams versus C.J. Stroud. That's week 2. That's on Sunday Night Football.
Oh, that's actually pretty
Should
exciting.
be a very, very good game. 2 of the best receiver cores going against each other. It's gonna be some fireworks in that game for sure.
Yeah, I'm taking Stephon Diggs under, Nico Collins for 100 yards. I might do a Cole Kmet parlay.
I might do a Cole Kmet 2 touchdowns. Bears over 33.5 team total.
What's getting us paid? What did we talk about the other day? Marvin Harrison, 90 yards in the touchdown
Oh
against the Bills.
yeah. He's getting me paid against the Bills.
Yeah,
Who the
bro.
fuck is checking him?
Yeah, it's a wrap.
Yeah, Elam? All right, bet.
They got Tryon Johnson on the boundary.
like former slot all pro corner. That's who
like,
else.
near the out of bounds line, trying to guard that motherfucker. Like,
can't
you know
wait for
what I'm
that.
saying?
Where is Christian Benford?
Like, damn.
Yeah, it should be. I mean, it should be interesting up until.
There's actually
obviously-
some really good week 1 matchups.
Yeah, it's
We play the Jags.
there's some good shit going on. I ain't gonna
Play
lie.
the Bengals.
I need Trevor
Damn.
Lawrence worse. I need Trevor Lawrence worse self to show up.
I ain't gonna lie, our first 5 weeks is crazy. We got Bengals, Seahawks, Jets,
I don't want
Niners,
to talk
and
about crazy.
Dolphins.
I don't want
We
to.
start off shit. We got
We have the worst end to our season.
we got Jags, Bills, Seahawks. Our first 3 weeks. I gotta look at the rest.
Ours is crazy.
And then y'all know
time
how
of
they
year.
got the flex. You flex the last 2 weeks. Like,
Yeah.
bro, they said, why the fuck is it to be determined? Y'all know damn well we playing at 1 o'clock on Sunday.
Yeah, we're gonna be 4-1 to start the season, bro. We got the Jags, Bills, Seahawks, Titans, Patriots.
Our last 5 our last 5 are crazy. I'm not gonna lie. We are on the road against the Steelers. We host the Chiefs. On the road
Last 5
against
or first 5?
last 5.
God
We're on
damn.
the road against the Bengals. We are hosting y'all, and then we're on the road against the Ravens.
Shit, did you see the Steelers one? Bro, their last 6 games are all against the AFC North.
Really?
Like their last 6 games are all against their division rivals.
Shit, we played them twice in 2 weeks or some shit like that.
That's insane. Like, how did they even get that scheduling done? I thought
I think we played them on Thanksgiving.
I know the Dolphins. The Dolphins play the Packers on Thanksgiving night. That's
What's
the last game of
Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I
Nah.
played
No, we played the
it
week
was
before
Christmas Eve.
Thanksgiving.
Oh, y'all talking about this past season or
No,
this
this
upcoming
season
season?
coming
Oh.
up. We played the week before.
Shit, the
Thanksgiving.
Steelers also have like one of these things, bro. They got to play Saturday.
I think.
The Steelers got to play a Saturday game and then play Wednesday, Christmas Eve against the Chiefs.
Like, what the fuck
The
is
Steelers
that?
got a crazy end of their schedule. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the
The
got
Steelers
bad.
are not even that like team for you to have them play 2 times in a week though. Like, that's
you
like
want
You
them
don't want to
play
watch
that
Russell
bad.
Wilson?
like Russell Wilson hold that much weight still. I mean, I gotta respect him.
You can't. Damon, I know you just spoiler free, most possible rating / review of X-Men, if possible.
I'm gonna give the season I'm gonna get a season at 8.5 or a 9. The finale, I hate giving out 10s, but it's like shit.
How could you not?
You know what I mean? I'm just gonna leave that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave it like that. I will say though, you know, it's not a spoiler. I think this could set the tone for more animated series. You know, with all the cameos we got this season.
They better give me Spider-Man 98.
They
I saw Peter Parker and Mary Jane.
Come on now, they can give us some more like animated series.
Well, you saw what Marvel did. They split into 3 things now.
So
when they announced all those stuff, they're in 3 divisions now. It's Marvel.
Good.
It's Marvel Studios, Marvel Animation, and Marvel Television.
Yeah.
Good.
So now it'll be 3 people running 3 separate things instead of Kevin Feige running everything.
Yeah,
I'm sick of seeing Kevin Feige's name on everything because
I think animation is going to be big for them. I think animation is like the big
that's
thing
where
right
they're
now.
gonna make their most money.
If they make everything like X-Men '97, it doesn't even have to be as good story wise, but just how it looks.
Yeah.
And the feel of it.
And you got to think this was a show where like their main like traction like to the casual Wolverine wasn't even like prominently in every.
Bro,
scene,
he's
every
not.
episode.
I've watched
chilling.
5 episodes.
The best thing that happened to Wolverine
He's yet to be in
happened
he
in
has to be
episode 9. And
He's
it's not
yet
even
to
a
be the forefront of any episode. And
Ooh.
episode 5 had me sad as fuck. I've yet to watch another episode. I've been sad as fuck since watching Gambit. What happened to Gambit? That shit broke
Gambit
me up.
kicked the bucket.
That's what I'm saying.
And Gambit was like, this motherfucker is way too fucking cool to die. Like, and then he fucking dies. And then it's like, I was like, damn, I remember seeing a spoiler like, I can't feel you. I'm like, there's no better fucking duo to do that than Gambit and fucking Rogue, because Rogue can't fucking feel nothing because she fucking kills people. Like, that shit fucked me up so bad. I'm like, no. And it's the fact that he already got stabbed before, and then like the way like he ended up killing the Sentinel, I was like, bro.
It was like the lead up, like seeing Rogue go with Magneto and shit. Like he,
man, that was just a fucking like it was a tornado of a fucking episode. I'm just like, why are y'all like they were just going everywhere? I'm
that's
like,
like the mid-season point, man. Like that's
fuck.
crazy.
Oh
that's what I'm saying.
God.
Like, so if you could do that, and your fucking main attraction is not even like in the. Like,
that means you got a lot to
that's what I'm
unpack
saying.
still,
Like,
and
man,
I
you
love
do a
that.
Spider-Man series out there, like actually get Spider-Man. Like, I mean, don't make Harry
And
Osborn.
the main attraction is
don't-
it's Harry Osborn. I was about to say the main
yeah,
attraction is Harry
let's
Osborn.
not do that
so
now.
we really
Harry
could dive deep into that.
That's
Really
what
could
I'm
dive
saying.
deep
Like,
into
come on now. Like, Norman Osborn, like, let's talk about him a lot. Like, we don't need that. But, you know what I'm saying? I fuck with the show, man. I started it late. And I really didn't, like, I'm not going to say I didn't like the first 2 episodes. But I was like,
Trying to
you know
get
what I'm
into
saying?
it.
I'm cool.
The first
whatever.
episode was good, but the second episode it felt dragged out a little bit.
Mhm.
It ended great though. I thought the whole Jean Grey shit was cool. I thought it was very interesting. And like Storm's development so far from what I've seen.
I will say Storm kind of got hold in this season.
She got
Like,
hold?
She got like this is not a spoiler for the season finale, but I feel like her arc could have been
better.
it's like once she came back to the X-Men. It was like, okay, she's here.
Fire your back. Like, what the fuck
what's
are you
up?
doing?
Like Storm, like it's not raining, so we don't fuck with you. I guess. Like, I
It's
don't know.
not raining.
I don't know what's going on, but
There's nothing in the
yeah,
forecast.
man, I fucked with the show, man. I can't wait till season 2.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they do more animation. Now all I got right now is All American. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
my God, don't start.
Come on now, Coop a lawyer now. Like you didn't even know that. Like, Coop trying to be a
Yo,
lawyer.
I can't believe like you talk so loud that my phone picked up the algorithm. Like that shit popped up, a crazy clip popped up. Dude, Spencer James having a crazy. He having a crazy.
She's one of us.
She was one of us.
Grown ass man in a high school outfit. Like yo, you're 40.
in the back, not trying to laugh. I'm like, bro, you
I can't watch that shit.
Yo, you're 40 years old in a high school outfit
yo,
laughing.
son.
Like, come on now.
He was like, she's one of us. I'm like, yo, you crashing out. It's crazy how you crashed out.
Don't start, bro.
That shit
Grown
funny
ass
as hell
man.
though. I do really enjoy seeing shit like that because like I send it to you. It was like dude was like he must be watching All American. I was like X-Men. I'm like, dude, why the fuck do we watch All American? But I see another one. I couldn't find it on TikTok. I don't know why, but it always pops up as a blue comment when it's like, what about Coop? It's like, what about somebody else? It was like I don't know what clip or whatever they talking about it is, but they be on his ass. I think one time
Then that one video of his route running, holy shit. It's like, don't make it any worse. The quarterback
speaking
was
of that,
ass.
bro. Speaking of that, niggas saw a video of Keon Coleman
Spencer James ass.
There was like Spencer James ass route.
You talking about when he did the curl or whatever? Bro?
He was flinching. He flinching at the ha ha ha. What?
You did an 8 drop for a curl. That means you never gonna do no
Josh Allen
curls.
whip that bitch in there, son. That shit gonna hit his shoulder. It's
fucking back plate. It's gonna be cooked. That shit is funny though to me. It was seeing that shit. I'm like, yo, you so loud. The algorithm picked up that I gotta watch All Americans. So this is crazy.
Yeah, you'll never get me on that, bro.
I can't believe that shit popped
They
up.
said Spencer James and Marvin Harrison battling for Heisman right now. Like, kinda locked in.
Yeah, all right.
That shit funny as hell. But y'all got anything else to add to the show?
Nah, man.
I can't wait to talk about Planet of the Apes next week.
Dude, that shit, I was just thinking about it.
Dawn and Warren really gonna have me geek. I might dress in a gorilla costume.
Gable Stevens, you watch this. I did not call you an ape, bro.
You better go get German suplex when you walk outside.
Relax, bro. Like,
I don't blame him if you do that. That being said, guys, thank you guys so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure. Next, we're gonna try to wrap up the trilogy. Obviously, if anything else comes out, we obviously will do that.
Maybe we should talk about something else we can watch.
Wait a minute. Playoffs. It's 3-2 Knicks and then 3-2
I'm not talking
Mavericks.
about the playoffs right now. You better
Hey man, go Pacers. Let's go.
Like
Go
I
Pacers.
can't believe last week we thought that the second round would be wrapped up. Because every series has turned, well, besides the Celtics, obviously, has turned into some bullshit.
That's
Complete
bro.
turnaround for the entire playoffs.
Most fraudulent playoffs I've ever.
It's completely turned around.
Like, this shit's crazy.
It's fun though. I enjoy it.
Yeah,
But
I'm not saying I'm enjoying it.
well, we will also update the leaders of the bracket. I think it'll be more clarity, obviously, because
By that point,
we'll see more, not eliminations, but more people that have like more or less no shot.
Shit, I brought my bracket up. My shit looking good again.
So looking
That
good
shit's
there. So is
crazy.
mine.
Like,
Nuggets,
let's
if
go.
Nuggets prevail, mine looking good again. I ain't gonna lie. But like I said again, thank you guys for joining us. Thanks for all the support, and we will see you guys next week.